Ladies and gentlemen, we back at it again. In this video, we're going to talk about extraverted sensing, what it is, what it does, who uses it, how you can use it to your advantage, and how you can overcome its weaknesses. All of these questions and more will be answered in this video. Let's get right into it. Okay, so extraverted sensing, aka SE, it's all about physics, mechanics, living in the now. These people like to stay present. They're all about relying on the five senses to be aware of every subtle change in their environment. These people are very aware, just like I said, of their environment. These people are very self-aware and they like to live in the now. Who uses it? The ESFP, ESTP, they have it in their hero function. The ISFP, ISTP have it in their parent function. The ENTJ, ENFJ in their child function. And the INTJ, INFJ have it in their inferior function. This is talk about the conscious mind, the ego, the one that you show to the world. Okay, next slide. And guys, you can download the slides. You can download this presentation. There's a link down below. Get the slides. You can follow along. And then there's also some space for you to take notes. Okay, so especially you guys that's listening on the podcast, you definitely want to get the slides so you can have some visual aids. Okay, so how to spot one? How to spot an SE user? The SE user are action oriented. These are the guys who will be skydiving. They into all of the Red Bull stuff and X Games and all that kind of extreme sports. And a lot of times they're athletes. That's why I use this picture, because a lot of athletes are SE dominant. Spontaneous, adventurous, anything to engage the senses. Like I said, they're all about the five senses. So any type of adventure, like going out to eat, or like when you go on vacation, if you go on a group vacation, these are the people who want to do the ATVs. They want to do all the zip lining and the paragliding and all that kind of stuff. They really want to have an experience, an action-packed experience. These people are all about action, living in the now, and engaging the senses. They notice small things about people in their environment. Okay, so my friend, an ESFP, a lot of time if I'm on the phone, I'd be like, she'd be like, oh, it's the deep breath. Like she always notices when I'm taking a deep breath. Like when I'm getting ready to tell a story and I take a deep breath, that's something that always she noticed. And like one time we was sitting talking and I was facing this way as she was talking, and then she said something and I turned around and started leaning into it. And like that was just the funniest thing to her. It was like every little movement, they notice that. In their environment or the people around them, they're gonna notice that. Prefer to talk with their hands. And practical problem solvers. They like to be hands-on and they talk with their hands a lot. They're not going to be up for like an online video course. Like I do photography. That's what these straps are for, my photography straps. I'm using it so I can have this mic strapped to me. But the online course, they don't want an online course. They want hands-on. They want to be practical. They want to touch it. They want to be, they want hands-on. Quick decision making. So, some people is like, you asking them, what we going to have for dinner? And like, I don't know. What you want for dinner? Oh, I don't know. What you want for dinner? No, these people are decisive and they're going to make a decision. It don't necessarily mean it's always going to be the right decision, but they will make a decision and they make a decision quick. They talk with their hands, like I said. Oh, so one of my early mentors, Frank Richard, he is like, like the life of the party, always like hugging and like, you know how when somebody laugh, like they'll bump their shoulder on you? This is those type of people. They're very touchy-feely. And they talk with their hands like the Italians. They talk with their hands and stuff. So those are some ways that you can spot an SE user. They are fun, spontaneous. The life of the party, action-packed. They're always trying to give people an experience. They usually like comedians. They put on a performance. Usually the guys in the middle of the floor, been the life of the party. That is an SE user. Some famous folks. So Serena Williams. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the most electrifying man in show business back in his wrestling days. The Rock, Madonna, and everybody's favorite, Donald Trump. These are our SE dominant users. Some positive traits of the SE users. Like I said, they like to put on the performance. These are, a lot of times they are coaches and they like to help their friends perform better. They're all about performance and action. Comedians, actors, they want to give people a good experience. They're hospitable. Like when you go to the grill, when you go to a cookout, the guy on the grill that's flipping burgers and stuff, that's laughing and joking and talking to everybody, A lot of times they are SE users. They're very hospitable, and a lot of times they're the guy on the grill. Mechanically inclined. A lot of mechanics are SE users. Make strong leaders, and they're very supportive, even if you're wrong. You know, especially if something happened out in public, if you are the friend of an SE user, even if you're wrong, they're going to protect you in public. Now, they're probably going to talk to you like, they're going to let you have it in private when it's just y'all two, but they're going to protect you out in public. They are very loyal and they're very supportive, like I said, even if you're wrong. Okay, so SE is all about action. You can make it stronger by tapping into it. So some things you can do to tap into it is to like get a physical hobby. My same friend I was telling you that leaning in, Tony Simon. I mentioned if you've been following me for a while when this was a FedEx channel, I mentioned Tony Simon a lot. She liked to go skating. That's a big thing in DC, and that's a way that you can tap into your SE is by engaging it. So doing something physical. Cook a meal from scratch. So there's a movie, Eat, Pray, Love with Julia Roberts. When she went to India, there was a few scenes. It was like, it's like the sound effects, and it's like really engaging all the senses. Them short, fast cuts. Whenever I think about, you know, cooking a meal from scratch, I think about that movie, Eat, Pray, Love. But when I talk about they like SE users like to engage the senses. If you cook a meal from scratch and really pay attention to what you're doing and take in all the smells and watch how the food transform as you cook it, like some noodles or something, when it goes from, you know, a crunchy noodle till it's like a soft noodle, that's will help you tap into your SE and make it stronger. Definitely food. SE users are big into food. I have a friend at ISFP. They're a big foodie in Napoleon Hill. So whenever I think about food, so now whenever I sit down and eat, Napoleon Hill would talk about how your dinner should be like a religious ceremony. Like, I don't watch TV. I like to have quiet time. I like to sit in my chair and just be quiet and focus on my food. And yeah, Napoleon Hill, I got that from Napoleon Hill. So you can tap into your SE by cooking a meal from scratch and really taking in all the senses of what's going on as you're cooking it. Appreciate art and nature. Okay, so like if you go to a art gallery, really get up close on the art and see where they use a thin brush and then see where they use a wide brush. And like I said, tapping into your SE, tapping into the senses of vision and to see how the art was made. And like if you go out in nature, leave your headphones at home. Listen to all the sounds. You know, observe what's going on. Let the sun beam down on your face. Like, be present. That'll help you strengthen your SE because they're all about living in the now and being present. Build something. So now, like Jenga or Legos or like building. There's this guy on YouTube. He built this obstacle course for the squirrels, and he had this whole elaborate thing. That's something that you can do as an SE user to make it stronger, is to build something. Even like classic cars. Like I said, a lot of time SE users, they're mechanics. You can tap into that by building the car, restoring the car from old, and like take all the bolts and stuff apart and put it back together. That'll help you tap into your SE. Some negative traits of the SE user. A lot of times they are overly confident. Once again, back to the mechanic shop. So I used to be a mechanic for 7 years. I worked at Firestone for 7 years. And quite a few of our managers, they would tell a customer, oh, yeah, leave your car. We're going to have it done by 5 o'clock. Knowing good and well this car was not going to be done by 5 o'clock. We don't have the parts, and it's already 2 o'clock. Why are you telling this customer that it's going to be done by 5? You know good and well it's because they're overly confident in their abilities. They're overly confident in their performance. These people can get cocky and unrealistic, and I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. And when you go to the mechanic shop and the guy tell you that it's going to be done by 5 o'clock, and then when 5 o'clock get here and you're like, oh, why my car not done? They're like, oh, yeah, sorry, we didn't have the parts and blah, 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 blah. We can get you a rental car, and then maybe you had to come back on Tuesday to get your car. You should have told me that from the beginning. You knew good and well that you ain't had the parts from the beginning. Why are you going to tell me that the car can be done by 5 o'clock? That's one big negative that I see, and I'm kind of triggered going back in my memory, recalling these things. They're not long-term thinkers. That's another example. They're not long-term thinkers. They constantly focus on the now. They're not planning ahead. You tell the customer it's going to be done by 5 o'clock. It's already 2. How are you going to say it's going to be done by 5 o'clock? They need constant attention. They have a fear of being abandoned. So like, a lot of time, like they'll put on a performance And like, if they feel like they're not getting the recognition that they want, they'll make their performance even more. They will turn up the performance because they like the attention, and they fear that if their performance is not strong enough, that they'll be abandoned. So that's a negative trait. And a lot of times they brash talk. Like, they're very direct. They stare you in your eyes and they talk to you. They give it to you straight. Which sometimes that can be like, some people can't take it, you know, but it's still tough love. I mean, it's tough, but it is love. A lot of times these people seem hard on the exterior, but once you get them behind closed door, they're actually soft teddy bears. How to overcome some of these weaknesses. So beware how you talk to people. Like I was saying, tough love. Sometimes you can't talk to everybody the same way. Another SE user, you can talk to another SE user like real brash and direct like that, but some people, they'll fold and like, they can't take it. So be aware of who you're speaking to. You catch more bees with honey. Now, again, like I said, it's tough love. If I see you about to walk into the middle of the street and there's a bus coming, I'm not going to whisper like, hey, you might want to get out the street, there's a bus coming. No, I'm going to tell you, get out the street, there's a bus coming, you about to get ran over. You know, so it's tough love, but it is still love. There's still love in there. You just got to be able to see past the brashness and the harshness and the directness and give it to you straight. How to overcome weaknesses, impulsive decisions. Ask yourself before you make an impulsive decision, ask yourself, is the risk worth the reward? Ask yourself that, because sometimes the risk is not worth the reward and you're being impulsive and you're about to make a bad decision. Take a step back, take a minute and ask yourself, is the risk worth the reward? And make a 5-year plan. Even if it changes, you'll be able to see how certain situations played out. Like I said earlier, they're not very long-term planners, but if you sit down and write out a 5-year plan, everything might not go according to plan, but you'll see how it planned out, and it'll help you with your future endeavors. So, in summary, the SE users, they're very action-oriented. A lot of times they play sports, they're athletes. A lot of times they are the leader of the group. A lot of times if you see like on movies, whoever is the leader of the group, a lot of times they're going to be a SE user. Guys, follow me. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications. Follow me on TikTok and IG. Download the slides so you can follow along and have some self-study and take some notes. Also, leave your comments down below. Leave me some stories down below. Tell me about your experiences as an SE user or some of your friends or colleagues, SE users. Ask me some questions. I'll try to get to your questions either in the comment section or on the Sunday live stream. And then also check out this playlist of all 8 cognitive functions. This is only one of the 8. Check out the playlist to see all 8. All right, go ahead, click the playlist, and I'll see you over there. Peace.